All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. I don't know what happened there at the beginning. It just cut. I guess they changed it. There's a new button that said skip the countdown or something. I hit it after I read it or hit it. I realized what I did. But anyway, welcome back into NorCal Sports Network. I just got home from the Philippines about 3 o'clock this afternoon. I am pretty tired, but the fight woke me up. Rafael Devers in the fight woke me up. That was fun. Good to see the Giants have some life. I think what's going on, Dallas, I brought one hat to the Philippines, this one. And I've been wearing it since last Tuesday. And, I always wear the winning hat, and what's going on? The Giants keep winning. We'll get into it, but let's thank our sponsor of the show. That would be Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. You got a personal injury situation? Give them a call. Don't settle with that insurance carrier before calling Chapman Law Group. 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right. Giants, man. Dallas. Get the music off, but I'm having fun with the band, man. They're hot. This is the fourth series in a row they have won for the first time in the 25 season.
Is that 9 out of 10 wins in a row now? 9 out of 10 wins?
Let me look at that schedule. Sure. I think it's pretty close to that. I think it's let me pull this up here. Got to look really quick. Let's see. We going back to August when they won in Milwaukee. The last two, they won 4, 5, 6, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1. Yes. So that is 9 out of 10. They may be. I'm trying to follow. I think that might be the hottest team in baseball right now. They're back over 500. They are now 70 and 69. Devers has been kind of the catalyst to this. He has been hotter than Hades, man. This guy is smoking the ball.
He's been hot. Adames has been hot. They tossed him out of the game. He couldn't get his 27th home run tonight. Oh,
I know. On his birthday. Happy birthday, Willie. He was coming out swinging. I don't know. We'll talk about that. I watched there was a little clip on YouTube I found with the Rockies broadcast, and they're totally different. Like, Chapman, why is Freeland, getting tossed? And
well, that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
I mean,
Greg says Chapman can fight better than he can hit. He just gave a little shove, but I guess it had a little force to it. But the fact that you actually shoved him, I can see why Chapman got tossed. But you know what? I gained a little newfound respect for Chapman tonight. I kind of like that. I like the fact that he was out there and, hey, listen, you punk. What do you just throw the ball, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
I didn't think Devers was that bad. He was kind of first seeing, it was close, not that close to being foul, but still it was.
Yeah, but he kind of tripped over his own foot too, coming out of the box, and that slowed him down. And so, I mean, he did watch it. And if this was 1995, probably someone's going to get plunked the next inning,
Right.
But it's a different game now. Everyone watches their home run. I mean, to the point where sometimes they're watching balls where it doesn't even go over the fence,
Yeah. And, I mean, how about the home run that Wilson Contreras hit to walk off in Milwaukee that first game, and he just celebrated running around the bases like crazy. Like in the old days, you would have got plunked the next day on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but in a way, I mean, Freeland, he just lost it. He was just going after him, yelling at him, and it wasn't like Devers gave him a look or anything. He was just watching his ball, and then he ran down. He wasn't trying to show him up or anything like that. So he just kind of snapped, and in a way, it's kind of beneficial for the Rockies that he got tossed, because the guy that came in pitched better than I think they were going to get out of Freeland, who gives up a lot of home runs.
Right.
So kind of crazy, but then, and you like to see the team step up and come to Devers' defense. You don't want to see guys get tossed. Adames, I'm pretty sure, threw a punch. It could be that he is out tomorrow's game also. That remains to be seen. But still, you build some camaraderie with the team,
right?
When they've all got each other's back, and when you're in the midst of this winning streak, and add to that, a little fire, with this dust up, I think that it only benefits the team. So I like it. Kind of a strange game with all the scrambling around. I mean, as soon as it happened and they tossed Adames and Chapman, I'm like, oh, gee, I hope Casey Schmidt can play tonight, because he was hurt. He wasn't planning on playing tonight, and all of a sudden, oh, you're the next man up, and so Casey has to come in. Devers goes over to third base, and it's like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And
hey, Devers looked like
by golly, he stepped up, and he made some really good plays. Like he could totally hold his own over there. And I have been, sometimes I don't feel comfortable, initially with Devers at first base. I was like, how's this going to work?
Yeah.
And he's been fine at first base, and now he goes into third base, and he was fine there. Made every play.
It gave me some thoughts of, if you did put Devers back at third and in the offseason, if you really wanted to make some changes, you could, if you thought you could get something. But I don't think that's probably going to happen. So I don't think so. Yeah. But let's get into this game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's break this game down, because it started with a bang. I mean, the second batter, Devers, and you know what? That was a great at bat. He was fouling balls off, and it wasn't like, he just got up there and hit the first or second pitch. I mean, it was a battle, and then he blasts that. It was high. I mean, he hit that thing high, and he had time to, like you said, he stumbled over his foot, kind of stumbled out of the box. And so as he stumbled, you're going to naturally look at the ball where it is. And then as he went, he just kind of watched it for a little while once he got his balance. And then he took off, and he wasn't showboating down the line. He wasn't, the Rockies broadcast first said something to the effect like, well, if he's going to skip down the line or something like that, or dance down the line, and he wasn't doing any of that. And so, there it is. We could actually see
he was slow going down the line, but he's not really a fast guy. So
right.
Even his home run trot might be a little slower than other guys.
Let's bring up the box score,
but it ended up being a very delayed home run trot. I think probably he finished the home run trot like 12 minutes after he hit it initially.
There it is, right there on the screen, and then boom. It reminded me a little bit of the Mad Bum and Max Muncy situation, but there's the shove, and you know what? It just looked like a typical major league dust up. There wasn't any haymakers or anything like that. A little shoving, pushing, grabbing, holding people back. maybe where Adames and Freeland, where Adames went after him again. After
Kane was, or not Kane, Webb was talking to him.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. I was happy to see the Giants with some life. I really was. To me, it looked like the team is playing loose. They look like they're just playing with nothing to lose. And, I do think the young guys, Dallas, guys like Gilbert, Matos, Ramos have infused, and Schmidt, some of these guys that are just coming in, probably even Koss, I'm not talking about just the play on the field. I'm talking about clubhouse. Gilbert is a battler. And
did you watch the game? Get a chance to see the game yesterday?
I did not see yesterday's game.
So Gilbert yesterday went 4 for 4 with a home run. And
wait a minute, I did see some of it. Yes, I did. Yeah, some of it.
He really took over the game, but he's so animated and crazy that at one point Chapman grabbed him by the neck and told him to calm down. And there's this picture that has been circling around of Chapman holding him by the neck.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
kind of funny.
Yeah. No, hey, Chapman getting a little, choking his team out, then comes out. Maybe Chapman's getting a little frustrated here. Now I know that it was fun with Gilbert. I'm being facetious, but comes out and pushes Freeland tonight. You know what? It worked out. It worked out because the Giants were able to adjust, maneuver. I thought, we get on Melvin at times. I thought Melvin handled the team tonight well. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
There was really no other way to do it, though, unless you're going to give up your DH and put Wilmer out there. I mean, it kind of solved itself because they didn't have any more infielders.
Right. But the fact that, and you know what? They hung in there. Let's just go quickly over the game itself and kind of how it went. I mean, the first inning, was obvious. In that first inning, Smith had singled with. Let's see. It started off. Ramos singled. And then Devers hits the home run that created the brouhaha. And then Schmidt flied out to deep center field. I thought he got a hold of it, went to the track. Then Smith singled, Flores lined out to right, and then Matos grounded out second. 2-0 Giants. It remained 2-0 until the Rockies put one across in the third, making it 2-1. And it stayed 2-1 until the top half of the fifth inning, and started out, Ramos flied out, then Devers lined out, and then Casey Schmidt, maybe the bat of the night when you consider the fact that he wasn't expected to play. He was hit on the elbow last night, got that funny bone where you get that buzz where you lose all feeling in your arm, and it just, sometimes that takes about 24 to 48 hours for the actual, full pain to be gone. You're better, but
sure.
It's,
he was still feeling it tonight. No doubt about it.
So the fact that he hung in there and he worked the count 3-2, I believe it was a 3-2 count. And he just lined that thing just over the left field wall. And that made it 3-1. And that was a 2-out hit, gave the Giants a little breathing room, not enough. But then Wilmer Flores, after Matos comes up after Schmidt's homer singles, and Lee walked. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? Smith single. No, it was Smith singled. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Smith singled, and then Flores homered, making it 5-1. Then Matos singled, and then Lee walked. Matos second, then Koss flied out to center to end the inning. So it was 5-1. So 2 big long balls. Giants have home runs for tonight, 16 consecutive games, Dallas. That ties the record for San Francisco with the 61 or 62 Giants team, the team that went to the World Series and lost in 7. And and then or next year, 63 team did it, I believe, is what they said. So the record for the franchise with New York is 19 games. So, man, they are smoking the ball. So the Giants, like I said, 5-1, and they needed that. They needed that because it would become 5-4 when Goodman homered, a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th. And then, of all people, in the 8th inning, Patrick Bailey hits a 2-run homer, and he got it. And nice to see Bailey, and nice to see Kinzer on the bench cheering him on. What I'm seeing, with the club is there's that they seem to have gotten past that horrible streak where they just were awful after the Devers trade for 35, 40 games.
Yeah, they put that behind them for sure.
Yeah, so it was pretty good to see. So who knows? I do still think, guys, this is a too little too late situation. I think it could get closer. I don't think they're going to overtake the Mets. It could happen if they stay super, super hot. They got 23 games left, right? 23 now. They're 70 and 69. That's 139 plus 23 would be 162. The Mets won big tonight.
They've now tied the Reds, which is nice. Get one more team out of the way. And what you have to do is just, now you've got back to 500. Now you're above 500. Now you hit the reset button and say, okay, now we're good. Now, going forward, we're in September, win 8 out of 10, and then see where you're at. Keep playing this brand of baseball, keep the winning streaks alive. You're not going to win every game, but if you can win, 60, 75% of the games, maybe in a couple of weeks, you're in the hunt. You have to just keep it going. So, yeah, you can't get too excited at this point because there's still a long way to go, and you need some help from the Mets. But it's certainly better than the alternative.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was looking at the Mets schedule last night, guys.
Tough. Very tough.
Yes. In fact, I will pull it up for everyone to look at and see what I'm talking about. I think they've got one easy series all year left. And I think that's with Washington. And that's not, no team is a cakewalk in big league baseball because you got a lot of young people that are trying to, impress and win a job, right? So let's take a look at the Mets schedule, shall we? Let me pull this up because the Mets have some tough teams to play and on the road. Right now they're playing the Tigers, and they've won the first 2 of the series. They finish tomorrow. Be a morning game here, so you might want to follow that along. Then they wait a minute. Why is the schedule? Where's the game?
The past games, yeah.
Wait a minute. You got the Tiger. Okay. Where's my schedule? Full schedule.
Hit full schedule. See what that says.
All right. Here we go. Let's get into September. Okay. Take a look at this. After Detroit, they go to Cincinnati for 3 and then Philadelphia for 4. Those are 7 tough games on the road. So, and the Mets pitching is horrible. They've got these 2 new young kids, McLean and Tong, that they brought up that are saving their season possibly. So Cincy and then Philly and one more with Detroit. So you've got two division leaders right there, Detroit and Philly. Then they've got Texas at home for 3, and then San Diego for 3. And that's a battle. San Diego is not even locked up a playoff berth, and they have to keep winning.
And they want to keep winning.
Yeah. And then you got Washington at home, but then they go to the Cubs for 3 and finish the season out in Miami, which is not an easy team, especially at home. So they have 23 games remaining. That's a team that, let's just say they go, for argument's sake, 11-12. Okay, Dallas? 11-12. The Giants would have to go 17-6 to nudge them out by a game. Okay.
Yep.
I could see the Mets going 11-12. Could the Mets go 10-13? Then the Giants have to go 16-7 instead of 17-6. So, well, Mark says they're playing Cincy. Those games you aren't not making up one of those teams, but you've caught Cincy. So in essence, you just keep winning. And if Cincy wins, you're still even with them. So the actual record for the Reds right now is the exact same record as the Giants. And remember, they tied 3-3. So I don't know what the second tiebreaker is. I think it's record within division games, maybe.
That might be against teams in your division. It might be I can't remember. I get it mixed
common
up with
opponents
the
in the national. I don't know how they do that. Ben says 11-12. Stop dreaming, laughing out loud, not going to happen. Again, I prefaced with it. I think it's too little, too late. And I think Lou makes a great point here. I don't think they can hang on because of their pitching. They only have 2. Well, I guess if Verlander 2.5, I'm going to give Verlander that half because he's a grinder, but he's no lock on the mound. Webb and Ray have been solid, and they're no locks either at this time of the season. Guys are tired. I mean, these guys are approaching, over 180 innings here. So this is there's no lock. But once you get into Kai Teng, who pitched great, let's give him credit. He pitched great last night. But this isn't something you can count on. Kai Teng is more of a 5th type starter that some days are going to get good production and other days it's going to be awful. And that's kind of what Kai Teng represents. Also, who's the other guy? Wisenhunt's out now with a back injury. Who's the other starter they got?
Well, Brubaker they're going to use as a long man in the bullpen.
Who?
They brought up the guy that was on the Yankees that they cut a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that one. Now,
but I think they JT Brubaker. He's going to be. They said he's going to be a long man, so I don't know who they're going to have come up. I think Wisenhunt is not going to be out too long, but who knows how he's going to bounce back.
Let's take a peek at the Giants' schedule, shall we? Because we went through the Mets' schedule, and what we need to do is look at the Giants because I see some stuff in the chat that says the Giants don't have an easy schedule either. Well,
They
not
played
really.
the same 4 teams the rest of the way. So if they can just get those 4 teams' numbers, then then they'll have a shot.
Here's who they play the rest of the way. They got Colorado, and then they got St. Louis for 3 after tomorrow's game, starting Friday. Then they got the Diamondbacks next week for 3, and the Dodgers for 3. Those 6 games are at home. Then they go on a 7-game road trip with 3 in Arizona and 4 in LA, and then finish up with St. Louis and Colorado. So, as Dallas mentioned, you're talking 4 teams that you're playing. And I obviously the Dodgers 7 games there, but I think for the Giants to realistically have a shot, they're going to have to win 17 games, 87. And I think that's where they're going to have to get to. And there's no guarantee that they catch the Mets, because the Mets, again, would have to go 11-12 for the Giants to go 17-6. The Giants are, forget the 5-game mark that you see in the standings. It's 6, okay? It's 6 because the Mets own the tiebreaker. So if they catch them and in a dead tie at the end of the season, it's the Mets. Now, if it's a 3-way tie between the Mets, Reds, and Giants, then I don't know what the tiebreaker is, because it gets a little crazy. I think what they do, if it's last year it was a 3-way tie, and Arizona was bounced out for some reason. And I can't remember what that reason was. So we'll see. But
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, you can't worry about the Mets. You can't worry what they're going to do. You have to play your game, put together, play like you did this last stretch, and these last 10 games. And if you keep winning, then you start to put the pressure on them, kind of. But really, it comes down to, like, if you sweep the Cardinals, and if the Mets get swept by the Reds, then things are looking a lot closer. The math changes the rest of the way. So
correct.
You really just have to, as good as they played the last 10 games, they need to play another 10 games that good. And then I guarantee you at that point, you're going to be 3-4 games closer to the Mets. And then you got a shot the rest of the way. So it's, at this point, you just got to keep the streak going, keep playing well.
Yeah. Well, let's go over our players of the game. We've got a lot to choose from tonight because they look good. They played sound, defensively. This is let me pull up that. Come on, what did I do? I'm looking here at the. Got the wrong thing I'm looking at here. Okay, there we go. All right, so I've got the box score pulled up. Give me your 3 players of the game, starting with backwards.
Starting backwards, I'm going to go with Patrick Bailey as my number 3 guy. We talk a lot of crap about Bailey because he's really underproduced this year. He's hitting 210 from the season. Not very good. But one thing in his defense is that he does come through in the clutch more than you would expect. Like, more than Chapman. When the game is on the line, maybe you'd rather have Bailey up there than Chapman, because there's been several walk-off hits. Several walk-off hits this year that he has, and not just the inside the park home run. I remember him going opposite way, hitting a single, to knock in a run, kind of shortening up and really putting a good at bat there. And then tonight, when the game was in question, you're starting to feel the heat. I think it was a 1-run game at that point, right? and he goes and hits that home run and gives them an extra cushion, and then you start feeling like, okay, they answered. Colorado responded, and the Giants answered right back and got a comfortable lead, and so I like Bailey for that.
Okay. Who's your second?
1 second, let me find it. Do your third, Dan, for 1 second, okay?
All right. My third is the entire Giants team, the bench. When they came out, I haven't seen the Giants come out and show any moxie for years. And I like seeing, hey, I forgot your dog's name, but
there's Max. He
Max.
Had to come in here.
All right. Way to go, Max. Buster's here. He's glad to be home. He's wiped out. He played with the dog all week. Another dog. Yeah. So I'm going with the Giants bench. I'm going with led by Chapman and Adames. I like seeing your leaders get in there and throw some things around. I don't care if they got tossed. They were like, doggone it, we're not taking this crap. We've been hit by so many pitches all year by all these pitchers, and they've done nothing about it. No retaliation, except that one stupid pitch where they missed him or whatever. I can't even remember where it was.
Basically ended Birdsong's career.
Yeah.
This season.
That's right. It was Birdsong. So, and you could tell it was like he didn't even want to do it. I am all for the team getting out there, and that's my number 3. My number 2 is I'm going to go with Casey, and here's why. He wasn't expected to play, and he was able to get in there, get a big home run, got a second hit. The other 2 outs, he struck out once, but 2 of the outs were warning track balls. I think one of them, the
first 2.
Yeah, first 2.
His first 2 at bats, he hit him to the track, and then the third one he hit over the fence.
Yeah. So, and then he helped turn the double play when he really hadn't thrown, I don't think, much, so the fact that he just said, screw the pain, it's just a tolerance thing. It's not going to injure his arm.
Right.
So I'm going with Casey number 2, and I'm going with Devers number 1. Why? Couple of reasons. Obviously the big long ball, but 2, love that he snapped back at Freeland and didn't take it. And you can, if you're a lip reader, you could see he was letting Freeland have it. And I loved seeing that. And then his defense was flawless at third base. So there's my 3, the team, Schmidt, and Devers. And I could go on and on with other guys, but that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Casey, he came into the game, and I doubt he took BP before the game. I don't think he was warm at all. He had to come in cold off the bench and get right into the batter's box. He was the next guy up, after Devers.
That's right.
He was the first one in there, and he may not have taken more than a couple of practice swings before he got in there. So coming in cold, and he put together a solid at bat, hit it to the track, and then same the second at bat, and then got the home run. So he had a good game, and coming in cold when you were not expecting to play, he stepped up and did a good job there. So I agree with your pick there. My number 2 pick, though, I'm going to go with Flores. Before this game, I saw the lineup, and I said, what is Melvin doing? Gilbert went 4 for 4 yesterday, and you're not putting him in this game. He went 3 for 5 the previous game. So he was 7 for 9 the last 2 games, and he's just on fire. You're not going to reward a kid that goes 4 for 4 because you got a crappy lefty that you're facing. I mean, he threw 8 pitches today, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But I was not happy that he sat Gilbert today. Now, I know Matos is also hot. You want to get him in the game, but guess what? That's why you have a DH. And that's why you have 3 outfield positions. So Lee could have sat down, or Ramos could have DH'd, and that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Ramos DHing with the 2 Matos and
Gilbert in the lineup.
Gilbert in the outfield, and that's what I wanted to see today. And I didn't agree with his decision. I was like, well, Flores is DHing, and I wasn't too excited about that. Well, prove me wrong, because Flores with the big 2-run homer, he stepped up and got the job done, and so he deserves a star of the game because the Giants need runs in Colorado, and he provided a couple. So that was good to see. And then my number one, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Number one, I got to go with Devers. I mean, he got the game off to a hot start with the home run, and then that whole fiasco happens, and then he has to come in and play third base when the Red Sox were like, he can't play third base anymore. We're gonna only DH him, and then there was all this controversy about him playing first base, and he's not. I don't even know if he had a third baseman's glove. Whose glove was he using? Does he have one just for emergency situations, or was that like Chapman's backup glove or something? I have no idea what, but he came in. He hasn't taken grounders at third. He hasn't, but I guess it's like riding a bike. He stepped right in and fielded every ball. One of those balls was a short hop. It kind of short hopped him, and he had to pick it, and then
he charged that one. Yeah.
I mean, threw a bullet, and then, so he had played a solid third base, and it was Devers' game, man. He was the man tonight. His 30th home run of the year, 15 as a Red Sox, 15 as a Giant.
Yeah, I think one more or 2 more with the Giants, and you could say he's a 30 home run guy for the Giants. If he hits, I think you can probably say it now, but definitely he's going to have more games as a Giant because he'll have like 90 with the Giants, I think. So if he can, I think he's probably going to hit another 3 or 4 over the season, maybe more. So
maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see Adames has got 26. And if he gets
I hope Adames is not suspended tomorrow, because I was hoping he'd get one more home run.
He could probably appeal it, and it's probably going to shouldn't be any more than a 1 game, I would think. I don't know.
But if he could take advantage of that thin air for 1 game, it'd be good. I mean, I think they can fill in for him if he's out, but and I wouldn't be surprised if, they'll probably get word, but I would figure that maybe Fitzgerald comes back up, just in case, because they need some infield depth. That we're down to their last infielder. If someone else got hurt or got thrown out, if emotions flared up again and someone else got tossed, then Wilmer would have had to have given up the DH and played the infield.
Right.
And, because they had no other infielders.
Right.
Unless somebody else, one of those outfielders, could somehow step in or something, which I've never seen or
Lou says Dallas still the principal. You go 7 for 9 and 5 for 5 in last 5 at bats. Melvin too much by the book, pissed me off too. Yeah, he benched Matos for Gilbert. I mean, what about rotating guys around so you can make Ramos, like you mentioned, the DH. You can sit Ramos for a day.
Yeah,
you can make
Lee. You want to get the left-hander out of the lineup because you're facing a left-hander. Well, Jung-Hoo Lee is left-hander.
Right.
He can sit down.
Exactly.
Yes, you gave him a good day off just 2 days ago, but
play the hot hand.
I think, play the hot hand, and it just seems to me it like reeks of Farhan's supercomputer. That's like crunching the numbers and the statistics and the matchups, and it takes common sense out of it. And I saw no common sense in that move.
Right.
So
George says
didn't end up affecting it at all, but I would like to see that.
George says the good news is that Adames and Chapman both got a day off. They should not be suspended. They never threw a punch. A push doesn't merit a suspension. I saw Adames kind of go like this, but he never really threw it at anybody.
I think the camera cut away, and I was listening on the radio, and FP Santangelo kind of made it sound like he threw a punch.
Did it connect? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it connected, but
well,
I don't know. I think the MLB will be examining the tape. I think they go back and see what happened. But yeah, I don't know. They both got tossed for the entire game. Maybe that should be enough.
Yeah, I do think this thing that it's the Giants are doing what they do. They do this play awful, then play great, and at some point, I don't know if they keep this hot streak up or they revert back to what they are, which is a 500 team where they win one, lose one, win one, lose one, or lose four and then win four. I don't see this team winning 86 games, okay, winning 16 more and going 16-7.
Sure. Chances are not very high.
I could see them going 13-10.
Yeah.
Maybe even 14-7. That feels like the max there to me because I see losses. You got 6 games with Arizona. I see at least 2 losses there. Okay.
Sure.
They got 7 with LA. I see at least 4 losses there. Get 3 minimum. Okay. Let's say the Giants somehow pulled this magic off and beat the Dodgers 4-3 in the final 7. Okay. They're not going 5-2, I don't believe. So let's say they lose 3 to the Dodgers, 2 to Arizona. That's 5. You've got St. Louis for 6. There's at least 2 losses there. That's 7. And I'm being really kind of generous. And the rest are with Colorado, or is there more? 7, 6, 13, Arizona, and 6 with, then it's Colorado for 3.
And tomorrow.
So they could sweep Colorado tomorrow and in the last 3 of the season.
Yeah,
they could do that. So I'm saying there's at least 7 losses in there. That's 16-7. That would get you to 86 is what I predicted before the season started. There's a possibility, but I think the key is going to be their pitching, and I just don't know if it's going to get them.
You're not going to know, but if this team that's playing right now shows up and plays the Dodgers, then you got to like their chances because they're playing real well right now. So a lot of it has to do if the pitching holds up, but let's say that they do keep this streak going and they play well all the way to the end. How do you like their chances in the playoffs? If they're the hot team going into the playoffs, do you, if they're playing that hot going into the playoffs, do you want to be the team that faces them that first series?
I never want to face a team that's really hot. Colorado got to the World Series in 2000. What was it? 7, I think it was, based on a incredible hot streak down the stretch. I think they went like 23-1 or something like that. Their final, it was something crazy. I can't even remember what it was, but check out Colorado. I want to say it was 2007. They lost. I think they got swept by Boston in the World Series that year. LDO says, Dan, it doesn't matter what losses you see. What matters is what happens on the field. Bud, stop telling Giants fans that we shouldn't hope. Never told you shouldn't hope. Never said you shouldn't hope. I'm just saying, look, this is a show about just talking sports. I have put out there my neck on a guillotine to be chopped off, and I'm fine with that. I said, I hope I'm wrong. KNBR put something out the other day that compared the 2010 team to the Giants on August 29th. They had the same, they were 6 games back. And I said, don't compare those two teams. That team was 12 games over 500 and had great pitching and had some, it wasn't even close. They had one team to catch, which was San Diego, and they had 7 head-to-head matches with them. This team is down technically at the time. They were 6 down, 7, and they don't have any head-to-head with Cincinnati or the Mets. That is the whole thing I'm saying. I'm trying to bring a little reality to the picture. Sure, I would love to just see the Giants go ahead and win 19 out of their last 23. Heck, win them all. But let's say they win 19. That probably gets them in the playoffs, 89 wins. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for having egg on my face and being wrong and saying, everybody can come say, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. You don't know sports. You're negative. You doubted. Look, I'm just bringing it to you what I think this team is. There are holes. Let's think about this, guys. They have beat up the teams they beat in, beating Milwaukee 2 out of 3, and then the Cubs sweeping was impressive. Okay. Very impressive to win those 5 games. Winning 2 of 3 against a lousy Baltimore team and then taking 2 out of 2 over Colorado. It's momentum, and you play who's on your schedule. I get it. You can't help who's on your schedule. Teams get hot. Can they carry this? My guess is, and I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble, I'm just telling you my thoughts. I don't think the pitching is going to hold up. I really don't think the pitching holds up when you got to go with Kai Tang. I don't know who else they're throwing out there. You got Verlander, Tang, and somebody else is going to pitch for you when Wisenhunt's on the DL or IL. He's out for 15 days. There's only like 25 days left in the season. So, yeah, Johnny, I mentioned that at the top of the show. First time the Giants have won 4 series in a row. Absolutely. So you take this, you keep plugging away, and you hope, but that's the beauty of baseball. I can remember the 1990. Oh, what team was it? The 98 team. They were down like 5 games the last week of the season, and somehow Chicago just started losing, and the Giants went on this crazy winning streak. The last week, they actually passed the Cubs the last day of the season. All they had to do was beat Colorado, and they were up 7-0 in the game and ended up losing and had to go play Colorado in a playoff. I mean, not Colorado, Chicago, because they tied for the last they only had 1 wild card back then, and they were tied. So they played it in Chicago, and the Cubs won. But I can remember that happening. I can remember the 97 team and the Brian Johnson home run, at Candlestick. I think as a fan, that's all you can ask for is to be in it, right? What did I say at the very beginning of this season? I said, I don't think the Giants make the playoffs. I predicted 86 wins. But I said, I don't think they get eliminated until the last week of the season. So I think they're going to have meaningful baseball, and it could go down to the last weekend. We'll see. You just got to be – now is the time okay, we talked about 2 months ago watching the scoreboard. Now's the time where you watch the scoreboard. And if you're really, really into it, you start watching both games simultaneously if they're both on. You got your MLB app and you're watching the MLB app on your phone, you're watching the Mets game, and on your big screen or whatever you got, you're watching the Giants game with your, NBC Sports Bay Area. And then if you subscribe to baseball, hey, you know what, guys? You might even just want to do it if you're a real fan that loves this kind of stuff. You can subscribe to MLB Baseball Network right now for the rest of the season for like $20, I think. Mm-hmm. Just 1 month. To me, I do the whole package every year. It's not that much money. Now that I have T-Mobile, they cover it anyway, so I don't pay anything for it. But if you want to really get into baseball and kind of have your emotions go up and down for the next 4 weeks, go get the MLB package and start watching the Mets games, because you'll be screaming at every situation. It's a lot of fun. So
sign up for that MLB network and remember to use promo code NorCal when you sign up.
Yeah, there we go. Wouldn't that be awesome if we had NorCal? Major League Baseball sponsoring us. The T-Mobile thing's going bye-bye. Yikes. ESPN. Oh, wait. The game's tomorrow. Oh, I got a draft tomorrow at 8:30. All right. Let's see if I can do a show and draft at the same time. I don't know.
Oh, great.
I don't know. That'll be interesting. But Dallas, what's your honest opinion? What's your gut tell you that the way this thing, not that you're Nostradamus, nor am I. I don't know what's going to happen. It's my take, okay? Again, hope I'm wrong. Been wrong.
Yeah, if I'm having to bet on it, I'd say they probably play better than they had the last few months the rest of the way, but with a diminished bullpen and a missing hole in your starting rotation, or two holes basically that you're just filling in with stopgaps, it's going to be hard to win as many games as they have to win to get to that 86, 87 spot in order to have a shot. So, you just don't want to. It's not too early to throw in the towel, obviously.
No.
But at this point, just keep it going. Just keep winning every day. And then maybe 2 weeks from now, the Mets will have lost a few games and you're closer to contention. Maybe you're just a couple games out going into the final week or so of the season.
Well, Senior says get it to 3 with 12 games to go. So that's gaining 2 games, but really you want to be within 2 ideally because of the tiebreaker. But let's take a look just quickly at the overall standings here. Toronto's hanging on to a 2.5 game lead over the Yankees and Red Sox. That's going to be a 3-team race there. The Tigers got the Central wrapped up. They had it wrapped up in probably June. The West, the Astros again on top. Are the Mariners going to fold again like they have for the last several years at the crunch time? They make all these moves. They go out and get Josh Naylor. They added some other bats. They got Suarez, the third baseman. They've got the horses. Now, can they get it done? We'll see. There's a couple teams right behind them, and we'll look at the wild card in a minute. The Phillies, there's that, lead over the Mets. And then Milwaukee has got the fairly comfortable lead, but still within striking distance, the Cubs. And then in the West, it's a 2-team race for the division. The Giants have overtaken Arizona. They were just 3 or 4 days ago down behind the Diamondbacks by a game and a half. So now they're a game and a half up. standings change quickly. Let's take a look at the wild card. What happened to my screen here? Come on, there we go. Move it too fast. Wild card. They called it. All right. Mets and Red Sox with a 4.5 game lead, but look at the Rangers coming. Look at Bruce Bochy and the Rangers. They are 8-2 in their last 10, and Mariners are 4-6. That's a 4-game change right there. The Mariners were up by 5.5 over the Rangers, and now it's 1.5. And Mike Yastrzemski and the KC Royals are 2.5 back. Tampa 3.5, Cleveland 4. I think you're looking at Seattle, Texas, Kansas City right there. Maybe Tampa. You never know who gets hot, but that's going to be interesting. I'm kind of, always pull for Boch. Seattle's, they got the Seahawks. We don't like them.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Rangers are playing the Mets, so they could win a couple
That's right.
games there.
That's right. There we go. So root for the Rangers there, guys. Root for the Rangers in the National League. It is, the Diamondbacks could play a spoiler role with the games they have with the Giants too, right? So there you have it. 70-69 Giants and Reds. And the Mets with that 5-game cushion. Look at the Padres, though. Mets are only a game and a half behind the Padres. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And then if you look at the division, what's kind of interesting is the Dodgers are not going to be the first place seed or the first seed now. It looks like Milwaukee, when you look at the overall record, Milwaukee has 85 wins. The Dodgers have 78. There's a 7-game lead that the Brewers have, or 6.5. I don't think Milwaukee or the Dodgers are going to catch Milwaukee. And then the Dodgers are fighting it out with the Phillies. The Dodgers may be the 3rd seed, which if you get that 3rd wild card, you are playing the 3rd seed, 3 games in that park. So if the Dodgers finish with the 3rd best division record, they become the 3 seed. And what happens if the Giants did sneak in? They play the Dodgers the first round.
Wow.
Or it's the Mets
crazy.
and Dodgers. The Mets and Dodgers. I mean, this is going to be.
I'm sure the Dodger ownership would feel really good about spending $350 million if it came down to that. Or even with Milwaukee, if they have it finished with a better record.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you got to play the games. You just can't buy it.
Kyle Harrison gets his chance on the mound tomorrow night, guys. He's called up. Kyle Harrison for the Boston Red Sox. They've been working on changing his mechanics and some of his pitches. So we'll see what he does. Hiroku says he can't wait for the 26 Giants to return everyone. We knew we were a playoff team. We don't need any changes. Just being everyone and not having a bad stretch in the summer. Yeah,
I don't believe that. I think Buster knows this team has weaknesses. It's clear as day. We've all watched it all along. If he doesn't make any moves to improve this team, then I would be very surprised. So it's probably not going to be the big blockbuster thing, but if they can improve the lineup where they have areas of need, and if they can get some pitching, they need pitching. That's their only chance, is to load that rotation with another 2 starting pitchers at least. So that's what I'm looking for in the offseason.
Yeah. Mets go 9-14. Giants go 15-8. That would get them in. There's that possibility. There's that possibility. I mean, that would do it. That would be 85 and 77, and they would be the third wild card, assuming that the Reds don't go 16-7. That would be kind of nuts. But look, these guys, this is playoff baseball right now, guys, for the Giants. If you want to really think about it, are the Giants, they are playing for their lives right now. So every game is like a playoff game. You cannot afford to give a game away. You're going to lose some games, but you can't afford to. Like tonight would have been a disastrous loss if when they were up 5-1, the Rockies came back and won. And they got it close.
They didn't let them.
Yeah. So
it got close, but they didn't even let it come down to the wire. They tacked on some more runs, and that's what you have to do in Colorado. You have to add on. Keep adding on. So it was good to see that. And now tomorrow, Robbie Ray, you've got a good pitcher, and you got to hope the bats stay hot. So that's going to be something to look for tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be exciting. It should be fun. Now's the time where you're down to 23 games. Okay, they go quick. We're going into Wednesday. After this weekend is over, on Sunday night, first day of NFL football. Well, full day. You got Thursday night football starting. I think we got a Friday night game this year too, don't we?
Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Yeah. So after the first week of football, the Giants are going to be down to 19 games. Okay. This is how fast it's going to go. And then a week later, the next Sunday, the Giants are going to be down to 13 games. Okay. So it's after this week going forward, it's 6 games a week with a day off, 1 day off during each of every week they've got a day off. So their day off, I believe this week is Thursday. The next week it's Thursday. The third week, beginning with the Dodgers, they do not get a day off until they're going to play a week from Friday. They start with the Dodgers at home. They go 6, 10, 13 straight games without a day off. Now, so be looking for probably, I saw Grant McCray was up tonight, and I don't know who the other pitcher was. That the guy you said, Budapest or something like that?
Brubaker.
Oh, Brubaker, Budapest, whatever. Okay, so, hey, guess what, guys? I heard something. I was watching a little clip. I should play it, but I can't. It was on another channel. But the podcast that Alex Pavlovic and Cole Kuiper do, they were talking about players, and Alex Pavlovic slipped and called Grant McCray McKay. I think he's a listener. I think he's a listener because I have been calling him Grant McKay for weeks, and he said McKay, and then he said McCray. He wasn't trying to be, like have fun.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It was.
I really doubt that's the case, but you never know.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty funny. He called him McKay. Come on, he knows he's McCray.
Yeah, but now you have to figure out which one of the people in the chat is him.
NorCal Sports Talk Live says Pavlovic lurker exposed. He's stealing my material. Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, he does a good job. I get on some of the guys, but he's actually pretty good, I think.
Yeah, they're good. Him and Cole are both good. I like the topics they bring up sometimes, talking about the stuff around the ballpark and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have no problem. I like, I've sat down in the press box with Cole Kuiper and talked to him for over an hour. Really good guy. Yeah, really good guy. So, yeah. So, I mean, we all get our frustrations with the Giants. We all see it, Some of us are freer to speak about it more, but yeah, we all see it in the past.
Yep.
So, and going forward. So we'll see. No team's perfect. Look, guys, you go listen to a Dodger podcast, you listen to a Mets podcast, a Yankees podcast, a Phillies podcast. They got people in there hating the team, okay? Fans get really pissed off when things don't go right. I've been reading things online, believe it or not, that people are now calling for Matos who are saying everybody was saying he's a bust. Now that he's hot, he needs to replace Ramos. He needs to be out in left field, and Gilbert needs to be out. Look, guys, baseball's a long season. There's ups and downs, ebbs and flows. Ramos has been the most consistent hitter on the Giants all year long. If you look at the statistics, he leads the team in batting average and hits. Now we look at his fielding and his base running, and we go, he's horrible. Get rid of him. But you got to remember,
not the most consistent in those areas.
Right. Thanks, LDO. It's nice to be back. Yeah, it was a whirlwind trip, quick, but good to be back. Yeah, Beto says that's what being a fan is all about. We love this team, so we criticize when we feel they're messing up, and then when they could be doing better. That is sports fandom in a nutshell. Yeah, sports is probably the most. Sports, you could call sports if you wanted to. You can name it, instead of sports, you can call it bipolar. You just say,
especially this team.
I mean, bipolar fans are like so bipolar. You listen to sports shows. 1 week, it's the greatest team ever. The following week, fire everybody, get rid of them. Sports is such it's like the weather. It's like Washington, D.C. There's something always hectic going on, always changing. Rarely do you get a team like the 2016-17 Warriors that you just say they're going to dominate, they're going to win it all, and it's not going to be close. And they're going to go wire to wire, and nobody's going to come close. And that was the way the NBA was back then. But you rarely get teams, you get every now and then, you get a great NFL team like the Patriots or the Niners or some of those great teams that look like the prohibitive favorites and no one can touch them. But it's all become more with parity now. The NFL, there's no.
I mean, they've designed that with that salary cap. They really designed it well, where there's so much parity in the league. It's nearly impossible to keep a team together because it gets too expensive, and then you have to start refactoring stuff. So, and baseball, I mean, it's different. I don't know why we don't see the huge dynasties like we used to with the Yankees and stuff like that.
It's because of the salary caps and the way they've changed it. And baseball
has a salary cap just based on what the maximum that teams spend, or your particular team has its own cap. Really, like the Giants right now, they have their own installed cap on what they spend.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun 23 final games. We'll be here for each and every post game, whether it's me and Dallas, me and Lou, or just Lou and Dallas. Like possibly tomorrow night, it might be just Lou and Dallas. I've got a NFL fantasy draft. I just got thrown into a league today against my will. We'll see.
And now you're gonna have to win that league against.
Now I gotta try and win it. I don't know. I'm in a battle for right now and the other, but we'll see. We are going to be doing 49er content. Yes, we will, 49er Media. In fact, we will be doing a live in-game from Seattle. Well, not from Seattle. It'll be from my living room in Arizona. But I will be going live at the start of the fourth quarter of every 49er game this season. Okay, so we'll go live for that, and we'll go fourth quarter, and after road games, we'll wrap up quickly after the game, and I will be going live on Larry Kruger's channel. And then on road games, we'll do our own, or home games, we'll do our own post game, because Larry doesn't go on for at least an hour because he's dealing with, in the locker room, getting quotes and interviews and stuff like that. So, and then going to the presser of Kyle Shanahan's post-game presser. So we will be covering 49er football all season long. I'm excited about football season. I'm kind of, I got my reservations about the team, but I think they might surprise some people. And if they stay healthy, their key is going to be health, as is every team,
Every team, yeah.
So you need health in sports you need a few things in sports to win it all. You need to be good, you need to have depth, and you need to be lucky. You got to get good health. If you lose the health, you're probably not going to win. Rarely do teams get decimated by top players and then have enough depth to fill it in, especially in the the NBA. You lose a couple good players and you're done, so but it'll be fun. Niners start up here just in 5 more days, and it looks like they're coming together with their team as far as getting healthy, and we'll see how it goes. I think, if I read right, didn't they cut the wide receiver? He played at Tampa. Why am I forgetting his name? Not Yates. Gates. I'm forgetting his name, but I think they signed MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, to take his place. And Gage. Thanks, Uncle Rico. Got it. Gage.
Russell Gage.
Yeah, Russell Gage. What was I saying? Gates? Yeah. I knew that wasn't it, but Gage, Russell Gage. So I don't know if he'll clear and become part of the practice squad. We'll see. But yeah, keep it right here, guys. Football. We'll be talking football. We'll have Los come on, talk some football. Bora, we'll get into some of that. And Bill Gates. Yeah, that would be fun. Bill Gates would be one of the guys that I'd love to see, a linebacker running full speed and read a screen and just demolish the pretzel and send the dude 20 yards down the field. That would be fun. That would be funny. Gosh, that little pencil neck head geek. I don't have much tolerance for that guy. Anyway, Los has been around. He's been busy, but he'll be here. Football is he loves to talk football. Are you going to put helmets on the wall, Dan? I need to. I had a helmet. I came home. When I got home this afternoon, I found a hat down off the wall. It's the Pirates. I'll have to stick. Oh, yeah, we got enough sticky there. enough sticky that'll see it goes in just like that, right on the sticky. So, mini helmets. Maybe I should order that. I should get some helmets. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be some work there, though. You got to do 32 little shelves that you can set the helmets on.
Dude. I'll have to. Del Mar. How did we fare at Del Mar? We didn't have the best of luck at Del Mar. Friday wasn't a lot of very good horses running. Saturday was some good races. We just missed on a couple, and would have been fun. The very last race before we had to leave, catch our flight, I threw some like $4 on a horse to win, and I had no clue. I just said, I like that horse right there. I watched him just running when they, kind of come out and they parade themselves. And then I watched him, he kind of took off running, and I said, you know what? He's got a nice stride. I'll pick him. And he won. So you get lucky sometimes. Better lucky than good, right? So I'm not a horse aficionado. I don't know anything. Lou is the top dog when it comes to horse racing. He knows his stuff. The guy got a degree in horse racing. Okay. He knows his stuff. You want to talk to Lou about horse racing? Yeah. Hit him up. He'll set you up. So there we go. All right. What's your final word for tonight? And we'll get out of here.
Final word was good game. It wasn't just a blowout. They had to actually come back and score some runs and play, which was good to see. And then, the drama early in the game that led to unconventional things happening on the infield, which was kind of fun to see. And Devers stepped up, man, and he did well. So I liked what I saw tonight for sure. Tomorrow, Robbie Ray, you got to like your chances with him against Herman Marquez. He's with a 6 earned run average, and he's 3-12. All the Rockies pitchers are 3 and something, double digits, because they've lost so many games. But the 6 earned run average, that's not great. So hopefully they can keep this offensive mojo going and score a bunch of runs and give Robbie Ray some run support early, so he doesn't have to try to be too careful. He can just pitch his game.
All right, there's your final word. Tomorrow night. Back tomorrow night after Giants Rockies. Giants go for the sweep and keep it going. Can they keep the home run streak going? More importantly, they need to keep the winning streak going. But we'll be here about 8:30ish, right around there. Could be a little earlier if the game ends earlier, but it doesn't seem like games end early in Colorado. So it may be just Dallas and Lou tomorrow night, because I got a draft. So we'll see. I don't know if I can do 2 things at once. We shall see. But big win tonight. Giants win it by a score of 7-4. Plenty of heroes. Rafi Devers, Casey Schmidt, Matt Chapman coming in, leading the way. Wilmer, Bailey. Quite a few guys. All right, guys. There ends the music, and we are out of here. And we will see you guys tomorrow night. Make sure on your way out, if you would do us a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you do hit that like button. Everybody, please just hit the like on the way out. It really helps the show's growth, the algorithms. That's how YouTube does it. You hit the like button, they say, hey, more people really like this. We'll push this out. So please do that. We really appreciate your support, and take care. Good to be back. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Take care, everybody.